Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try SkinPlace. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. SkinPlace.
Welcome back, folks, to the CCT. We are ready to kick things off with another game. Of course, it's a new pair of casters, new pair of faces, fresh, a lot of energy to bring forward. Of course, my name's Ted. I'm going to be joined by the lovely Dugate for the next two games of the day, which is going to be the third and fourth matchups, respectively. Previous series was quite interesting, to be fair. A couple technical difficulties, a couple scheduling problems. So map number 1 being an FF, but still map 2 and 3 delivered. And we are not too much behind schedule. We're actually starting right on time, which is good news. Of course, Permita and Sinners being able to win their game so far. Sinners hitting some good form for those of you that have missed it. Took down the Alliance in the 2-0 fashion, and then the Polish side of Permita was able to do the reverse sweep and take it away from the side of Revenant. But enough for that. We're not going to spend any more time talking about Revenant and the issues that they've been having. We're going to focus on Sampi taking on the Gaimin Gladiators and Encilio taking on Team Space later on today, as there's going to be a bit of a prolonged break between the third and the fourth game. But for now, Gate, Sampi, Gaimin Gladiators, pretty exciting matchup all in all, right?
Yeah, no, this should be good. It'll be interesting to see if the CZSK region is going to see more success today here in CCT. Of course, Sinners winning out their match earlier, like you spoke about. Now, Sampi looking to see if they can do it as well. Of course, there is an ex-Sinner that's on this roster there for Sampi. That's Zedko. That has been around the block for quite a bit of time, but he's got a fairly competent roster alongside of him. Of course, they're taking on the Danes of Gaimin Gladiators. Nicodemus along with Roger and Co. all looking to try and make their way forward, but we definitely need to go ahead and take a look at this roster. That way we have a bit of a better idea of how things could be panning on out. And out of these players, who are you watching for in particular?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have a little bit of bias towards Kragan because he's just a pretty damn cool dude, right? But all in all, this team is really exciting, man. On the back of the pickers of Nikodos and Roy, around what, 1 month ago now, they played a little bit over 20 maps together. Haven't had a lot of success, but obviously a little bit of time is going to be needed for things to start clicking and start working out in a way, right? Especially when you change leadership. But in that current Gaimin Gladiators team, I really do believe that we could be seeing the next really good iteration of a breakthrough tier 2 Danish team, right? They made the Copenhagen major, couldn't even make it into the close qualifier for the second one of the year, which was a bit of a disappointment. But considering they're going through a rebuild, considering you pick up Nikodos and Roy, which are both massive pickups, especially for Roy, I still feel like he's I mean, I can't say that he's underrated, because I think people are giving him enough rating for how good of a player he is. But you're getting two guys with a lot of experience, some tier 1 experience as well. And I think with the additions of Nikodos and Roy, and having capable riflers like Queenix and Kragan, and of course Nodius, this team is just destined to become one of the best tier 2 teams out there. And I know the numbers haven't really been showing for it. I know form has been a little bit lackluster, but when you look at the pieces, you can't overlook the fact that the Gaimin Gladiators, even up against a team like Sampi, should be looking like the heavy favorites. And for me, it's absolutely mind-blowing that this team is number 85 in the world.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit low for the time being, but of course, like you're saying, they're still trying to get things clicked together. Hopefully, they'll be able to do that in the next coming weeks. This is a great place for them to go ahead and start testing things out here during CCT. Of course, they are 1-0 already. Now looking to see if they can do it in 2-0 as well, to try and put themselves in a prime position to make it into the playoffs. But only time can tell they'll be able to do that. Of course, we do need to take a look at the opposing roster. That's Sampi, the Czechoslovakians, going to be looking to try and face up against the Danes. And when it comes down to it, there's a couple of names on here that some people may recognize if you're familiar with the CZSK scene, but the one player that everybody should know at least is probably Zetko. He's been around the block for a good amount of time, had some good success with previous rosters, and now is looking to try and firm things up with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Zetko coming in from Sinners, now being the big star on Sampi in comparison to Sinners when he was a bit more of a supportive element. Obviously, you have Finu coming in from the Sinners Academy as well, so you actually have two ex-Sinners, as you pointed out earlier, technically. Obviously, you have the leadership of the E-Live, who's got previous experience playing with Zetko as well from a couple of years back, dating back to 2018, when they played together for the first time. The E-Live has got some more experience playing with people like Mangus as well. We're together in Enterprise. Savannah as well has been around for quite a while. So as you said, the Czech and the Slovakian scenes have been on a bit of a rise recently. Obviously, now you're gonna have 3 Czech teams in the RMR, which is kind of crazy. It's the first time in history that's happened. Sadly for Sampi, of course, they're not one of those 3 teams. We're talking about Dynamo, Eclot, Sinners, and of course the side of Unity. So I feel like this is going to be some extra motivation for Sampi, knowing that they've got the skill, knowing that they've got the leadership, knowing that they've got the pieces to show that they can be competitive on a higher international level as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. It'll be interesting to see what they're able to pull off. But of course, what we do need to take a peek at is the vetoes in between these two teams to see what maps will be played. That way we can have a breakdown of the series a little bit more in depth. And as the first 2 bands come onto the screen, let's see, what's this first pickup supposed to be looking like here?
Anubis Inferno. It's just so straight up, right? In a game like this one, Gaimin Gladiators remove Mirage is a map that Sampi like, but you have 2 clear punishment picks for Sampi, and those are Mirage and Anubis, so they just go for the other one. Then Sampi obviously gonna get rid of the Vertigo. Not that big of an issue. I would have actually liked for them to potentially float it, to be fair, and try and remove, let's say, an Inferno, which is supposed to be a punishment pick coming in for Gaimin Gladiators on paper. So yeah, and if we go to a third and final one, it's going to be an Ensha, which I think, again, is the most probably even the map between those two. A nuke would have been an option, but I think going for a nuke decider against the Danish team is always going to be a little bit of a risk. And you know, there is a pretty big discrepancy between the amount of maps that those two teams have played recently on HLTV with those lineups as well. So Sampi, the much more woe drill team, even on a map like Inferno, which is supposed to be a punishment for Gaimin Gladiators, have a lot more reps. With that being said, though, I think we're being rushed to actually jump into the server, so we're going to give me your opinion on the veto in just a couple of seconds. But Anubis, Inferno, Ancient, ladies and gentlemen, map number 1 is ready to start. It is Anubis, it is Sampi on their home ground, trying to punish the Gaimin Gladiators on a map that usually isn't that great for them. And interestingly enough, they decide to start CT.
Yeah, no, that's a bit of an interesting decision, honestly, because a lot of times you see these teams starting to prefer the T side when it comes down to it. So going ahead and seeing Gaimin Gladiators electing to be on that CT side is going to be a bit of an interesting decision. So maybe they have something up their sleeve they've been working on that they're looking to go ahead and use here and now into this map, or maybe they just made an off pick to try and see if they could catch Sampi off guard. But I think either way, as we do see this going live, let's see it. Gaimin Gladiators. It's going to be an important pistol round for you to win.
And you know, the classic, we go into the game and we have a technical timeout straight away.
I mean, it's online CS. This is just the way it is.
Even if it's long, by the way, that happens quite a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I guess it's standard proceedings. I was gonna say, by the way, I mean, statistically, you're looking at Gaming Gladiators when it comes down to Anubis, right? And you gotta look and address the elephant in the room. They lost 5 in a row of their last Anubises before beating Parry Vision just 2 days ago in a 13-8. What I will say in their defense, that Anubis against Parry didn't look half bad. Both Nikodos and Roy showed a really good performance, so quite hopeful for this. But pissed around already starting off. A bit of a mid to A split, and I was gonna say there was a 3-man setup from the Gaming Gladiators in towards middles. It gets absolutely annihilated straight away, and Kraken's all alone on an island.
Yeah, no, just kind of ripped apart. Both these players pretty separated, not able to do too terribly much just yet. They are starting to advance forward to look to maybe play for the retake, maybe peek away, put some poke damage out there. And as we do see Kraken find out one, he is traded immediately by Finu. Of course, you do see Mangus follow it up as well on the Nikodos, leaving it to Sampi to take the first round. So that's a very strong pistol for the T side. Now we're going to be looking to see if the second and third round could come around for Sampi to take up in a 3-0 streak. Or are we going to see Gaming Gladiators go ahead and start to fight back tooth and nail right out of the gate?
Sure. One thing that is worth mentioning as well, by the way, for both those teams, the opening round of the main Swiss was anything but fluent, anything but flawless, right? You're looking at the 3 mappers for both sides. Sampi taking down the Copenhagen Wolves. Sorry, not the Gaming Gladiators, at least not yet. But taking down Copenhagen Wolves, losing their map pick on Mirage, then winning Enshin after double OT, 22-19. Triple OT, actually, sorry, shall I say. And then a 13-9 on Anubis. And then if you're looking at the Gaming Gladiators camp, you're looking at a 17-19 loss to Aurora Youngblood on map 1, and then 13-11, 13-10 on maps 2 and 3. So for both those teams, I feel like they're in states of their developments as lineups. Obviously for Sampi it's a little bit different because they've been together for a little bit longer, but especially for the Gaming Gladiators where consistency is a little bit of an issue. So a cleaner result here for both those teams would be absolutely massive.
Yeah, no, it really would be. And well, so far the trades are coming out pretty quickly. Savannah's able to find out one, but of course, Nuttigo's there to trade things back. Leaves it down to a 4-4. Mangus watching for them to advance forward. Should be able to catch out 1 or 2 here. Yeah, there's the first. I don't know if he'll get a second, though. I think they're just going to go ahead and wait for the teammates. There it goes. He's able to grind up quite a bit of cash. Yeah, look at that. 3-piece for the man. That's quite a bit of money built up. That'll be helpful into the next round.
Yeah, it's a good economy builder. You've lost 2 players, which is not ideal, but both those players were just the MAC 10, so it's not that big of a deal, as we already pointed out. You can just bring those guys to the AKs, and Mangus can actually drop over an AVP to Finu if he feels like it. Of course, T side of Anubis is not the easiest one to up on, but you still have a little bit of options. For now, though, they'll decide to stay away from it. Enables you to go for something a little bit more explosive, something a little bit more creative, I guess, in the first buy round, knowing that Gaming Gladiators wouldn't have too much util and they wouldn't probably have an AVP to work with, which is the case in that situation.
Well, Ness is going to start to fire off on all cylinders. Kraken able to find himself a nice little double. Of course, we do see Finu find out 1 as well, to get all down into a 3-4. The main advantage starting to go the way of Gaming Gladiators, but of course, the trade from Savannah comes out on the Roger to go ahead and put the side of Sampi back in the money, possibly looking to go ahead and try and tip things back into their favor. That's slowly played. Looks like Savannah might be able to find out Nikodos if he plays his cards right.
Savannah's the key to end the round right now. If they clear him out, and this is probably what you want to do right now, right? Just reaggress middle. You've left B, you've left A, but you've got quick rotations. You know Savannah was somewhere around. This is massive. Gets the first one. A little bit of damage done on Kraken as well. Oof. 1 bullet through the door would be enough. A-play coming in as well, but Savannah decides to disengage. Queenix is going to be all alone. This is a great decision, but somehow, in the meantime, Savannah's lost both his teammates to just Queenix and Queenix only. Low HP on both those players, 45 seconds, but this is not going to be an easy clutch early on. Savannah thrown into the 1 versus 2. Spam through the smoke coming in, and Queenix will finish it off.
Yeah, I mean, there we go. That'll be Gaming Gladiators going ahead and putting up their first onto the board. That's a very much needed round for them to take up. We're going to see if they can go ahead and try to play for this tie. Of course, there are some funds to use if you're Sampi, so a bit of a hero rifle play or a bit of a force, it looks like, coming out from them makes a bit of sense. Alive, Finu, along with Zedko on Kalashnikovs, Mangus on the Mac 10, and of course Savannah. A bit of a Tech 9 to use. So, I mean, it's a bit of something. It's not brilliant, but we'll see where this goes.
I've got a question for you, by the way. How'd you feel about? Because I gave my opinion. I think Roy and Nikodos were excellent tickets for Gaimin Gladiators. How do you feel about this?
I mean, I feel good about them. I think they could be able to go ahead and really elevate this team of Gaimin Gladiators to another level, but
sure,
we'll have to see ultimately how they gel together, because I mean, it takes time to like really solidify as a roster, so I don't know if we'll see them in prime positions for like maybe another 2 months, but
right.
We definitely could see it start to click in a good way down the line. I don't think it's going to be immediate though, and it hasn't.
Yeah, it is a fair statement, and of course you're bringing in another aggressive rifle in Roy compared to Paddy, who of course was the in-game leader of the team and not really a typical opener. For now though, looking quite good for Gaimin Gladiators when it comes down to the buy rounds. B-bomb site completely opened up. Yuto is going to give it away. They probably get a bomb plant, but that double flank coming in from Canals is going to be really quick here for Roy.
No, they're just so quick to get onto this flank, and we're going to see Mangus start to watch for it, but oh no, we're going to see Finno fall there. That's going to leave it all down to the man, and unfortunately, he's into a 1v3, finds the burst.
Nate.
As he makes his way up. Gets nice and close, but, oh man, Queenix, just too quick, man.
I mean, early on, the signs that we were getting from the Gaimin Gladiators, they get that defuse. It's going to be a really proactive CT side, and this is what I'm looking forward to. And those are the signs, by the way, because you're looking at the win rate, you're looking at the games that they've played, and you're probably saying and thinking, well, Anubis is not going to be a great map for this team. I would say that I heavily disagree with this. You're looking at some of the pieces that they have. Roy, Nikodos have played Anubis on previous teams, and on the majority of the teams that they've been part of, well, obviously since Anubis got added to the map pool, they've actually been quite good individually, right? Especially if you want to look at Nikodos, you're looking at Heroic and his time on there. Anubis was one of the maps on which Heroic was doing a pretty decent job, and I think I've always looked at both those players as pretty capable when it comes down to it. Obviously, a lot of it has to do with the fact that Anubis, as much as it has a lot of possibilities for opers, you're all right with just sweeping through with the rifle too if you're an oper, right? And Nikodos has always been one of those opers that have been even criticized for the fact that they don't really op too much, but they're really proficient with the rifle. And I think those are the types of maps in which Nikodos is feeling really, really comfortable. And you know, when it comes down to Roy, he's kind of like the Jacob of the Danish scene. I mean, he's you can just put him anywhere on the map and he's gonna do an equally good job.
Yeah, no, that's certainly true, but we'll see if they can go ahead and start to really activate. He's started off decently slow for these first 4 rounds. He's 1-4 currently, but definitely should be looking to get active here and now. Of course, we do see Sampi playing out a bit of a hero rifle type of play. We've got Finnu on a Galil, meanwhile we have some more Tech 9s and Mac 10s, but oh, there it is. Roy just gonna be able to go ahead and gun them all down, leaves it down to the final 3 immediately and continues to look for spam. Finnu gets out 1, but is traded immediately by Nikodos, leaving it all down to Mangus and the Alive. It's a 2v4, and things are in a rather desperate state.
Yeah, what do you really do from here on out? That was a full investment as well, and you're just left with the pistols. Every single rifle just got mowed down in towards middle. Mangus hoping to find the timing, hoping to find a way back into the round, but he's been already spotted out. Jiggles looking really, really good for the CTs on the other side, and they can just approach this one together. No need to force the issue. Smoko isolate him. D-Life in the meantime has been able to find a kill onto Nikodos, but refrag is going to come in momentarily from Queenix, so there's just Mangus left. The 1 versus 3. Gaimin Gladiators early on looking like a team that is not willing to give, well, I was going to say a mile, give a position. They're not giving an inch over to Sampi.
No, they're really not. They were going ahead and just shut down mid before Sampi really had a chance to get things turned around. I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes, though, especially if Gaimin Gladiators are looking to fire on all cylinders. And right now, their CT side, it's looking rather put together. They've obviously been at the drawing board going ahead and figuring things out for themselves. We'll see if they can go ahead and pan out in the map win, but of course, so far, it's a good look. They've taken the lead, but the side of Sampi are just kind of broke. They don't have money to be used for this round, so they got to look to save to try and buy into the 7th.
Yeah, I mean, you've been completely shut down since the start, right? And this is a big issue right now if you're Sampi on the T side, because let's not forget, this is your map pick. You're starting T side Anubis. You've got all the pieces on paper put together for you on the table. The puzzle is complete for you to have a good performance and potentially win your map pick, but early on, I know it is too early. We're only 5 rounds in, but we are already looking at, well, yeah, not enough water, apparently. Tongue twisters. It's a superpower to create them, but we're already looking at 2 buy rounds that Gaming Gladiators have been able to pick up, right? And those are the first 2 in a row. They lost the pistol round. You're still building up the bank. Usually you'd see it go the other way around. Usually you'd see the CTs pick up the pistol, the second, and then as soon as the Ts get their hands, get their hands on the guns, they start to roll, right? So far it's been quite the opposite, and you know, this is quite worrying. That was an insane shot from Mangus. Quite disgusting.
As we see them advancing their way forward, Roger able to go ahead, find himself a double. Of course, Finno finds out one as well, living it all down into a 2v3 that advantage. Starting to go the way of Gaming Gladiators, but these Deegs, they've been fierce so far. Mangus and Finno have been the ones to activate. Of course, Finno does ultimately fall. Bit of a TK and a bit of damage on the Queenix. Leaves things in jeopardy, but we do see Nikodos on the side and on the flanks to close things out. Bell gets turned on, but not going to be the case.
Yeah, it's a great start. 4 rounds already on the CT side, and you know, under different circumstances, you could say that 4 on CT side Anubis is already good enough, right? You could say that this is something that you can work with in the second half, but Gaming Gladiators have been put in a position where they can get a lot more out of this. And as we said, going into this, obviously there's a lot of points to be made with Inferno. Talking about Sampi and the amount of times that they've played it, but they are the number 4 team in the world so far this year with the most amount of maps played on HLTV. So they will have a lot of reps on pretty much every single map in the pool. Still, Inferno is supposed to be a pretty clearly favorite map for the Gaming Gladiators, and early on to be showing that type of potential on Anubis as well was definitely going to put them one step closer to, I mean, making a serious statement that they wanted to all this, pretty much.
Yeah, no, it's a really good look for them there. Of course, we do see immediate damage being displayed. We'll see Gaming Gladiators find out tags on the Zeko and Savannah. The double S is put down to 23 and 34 respectively, and things are in a rather scary states, of course, as we do see them just backing off of that, realizing that, hey, maybe we shouldn't play him mid.
Look at that position. They don't know.
Yeah.
If they don't clear him out, he's good for at least 2 kills there. Zetko and Savannah are so low on HP as well.
Maybe 3.
Oh, probably not. Gets the first one on Zetko. Refrag is instant from TO, but still, you have one more player towards the back of the side, and this is the alarm for the rotations to start coming in. Nodius still in a good position, though, able to get the first one. Refrags once again, good enough. Bomb site secured, so the bomb will go down, but this retake is on. Not a lot of Yuto. You have the 2 flashes on Nikodos and 1 HE to work with, but you still have the kids. Full HP on all those players. And as of right now, Sampi are going to get a little bit of time to get comfortable until that tempo smoke fades.
Well, so far, things have been just played out slowly. We see them starting to edge their way around. The Alive looking for this engagement. It's going to be able to find out one, of course. Now, Roger looking for this engagement as well. Starts to swing, gets the information on one, knows there's one at Pillar, is able to eventually find it, picks up a different rifle, but the time is limited. I don't know if Gaming Gladiators are going to be able to do this. And yeah, the save call could be made. That'll be Sampi going ahead and keeping themselves within 1.
Bro's going to be healthy, holding on to the gun. And you know what? I don't mind that. I feel like this is the more intelligent way to approach that entire situation. Even though you're looking at the 3 versus 3, you're saying, okay, they have a lot of time. It's a 3v3. They have kids. You don't have smokes. You lose one player. You know they could be main and con. There's no way for them to isolate those players one from another, right? You don't have Molotovs. You don't have smokes. At that situation, you've already won 4 rounds on the CT side. You're in no rush. You're not desperate for those rounds. They go for the tactical timeout, which I respect in that situation. Obviously, you know that this is your economy on the edge of a reset, potentially. So ideally, you'd want to stay in the driver's seat. And you know that the money on the T side is still going to be far from ideal, considering you still got 3 kills in this one. But 4 round CT side, you can afford to call these rounds off, right? You can afford to hold on to the AVP, hold on to the M4, wait for the advantageous situations to go your way. Because CT side-wise, a lot of the times you're going to be made to or forced to play against the odds. So you might as well want to be diligent enough to wait for the few chances that you're going to get and make sure that when those things happen, when those chances occur, you're going to be in a good position money-wise, weaponry-wise, to actually try and go for the round when you need to.
Yeah, we'll see. how this rolls out now that we see Sampi starting to build up a little bit of economy. Of course, they don't have too terribly much to work with just yet. They could be able to build it up quite nicely here, though, if they
Another
do
B-pop.
find themselves some good success. It looks like, yeah, what you're saying, B-pop about to come through. They're going to hit pretty hard. Players starting to rotate over. The initial shots haven't really landed too much. We'll see damage starting to go through. Kragan able to find out one, but Zedko doubles it up. Nautilus Roger able to find out kills. Of course, we do see Kragan activate for a second into the round. Stuck behind the smoke, takes the third engagement, and oh, that's the bomb! Well, now, a big mistake has been made here for Sampi. They're now stuck into a 2v3. They don't have the bomb in their hands, and they've got to deal with the rotating players along with Kragan still just holding out on sites. And oh god, the timing so far has just been absolutely out of this world in terms of potential.
Oh my
But
goodness.
as we do see Finu being dealt with, it's all down to Zedko. He's got a 2k, needs an ace.
Kragan is an absolute demon. Zedko, you're just locked out of this. This round is so over. Kragan does so much work. Might as well just give him the ace at this point. Low on HP for Zedko as well. Peak is going to come in any moment now. Kragan, 4 kills already for the demon, and he's going to get number 5. It's an ace and a half. Kragan 1 versus 5 towards the back of the bomb side, and we didn't get to see it. It was all happening on the minimap on the other side of the map, but he was originally towards the plat. As that play was coming in, there were so many players storming the bomb site. He loses his B bomb site companion quite early as well. He's left all alone, able to get the first 2 kills instantly, staying alive. I mean, the fact that he gets 2 kills and stays alive for 5 more seconds is already good enough. The fact that he drops the bomb, gets the 3rd, and even the 4th and the 5th, that was absolutely mind-blowing from Kragan. And those are worrying scenes if you're Sampi, by the way. Kragan is one of those individuals that you don't want to see get rolling when he's on the other side of the server early on. We know what he's capable of.
No, we definitely do. I mean, it is down to the final 3 just on Deagles. We do see Finu grab himself that picked up AK, the hero rifle already retrieved, but man, I mean, Sampi, what do you do in this situation? What is your plan going forward at this point? Ted, if you were the coach of Sampi, what would you be telling them to watch out for and what sort of strategy they need to employ?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'd say that probably you go for a tactical timeout before the next round. Because as of right now, things are not really working out. I mean, you've got a couple options. It's you either want to go for a bit of a default and see what the CTs go for, but then again, Gaming Gladiators have been really good with the mid-round aggression, taking space, finding opening kills. You tried a couple bomb site takes as well, but those got completely shut down. Even if you get the first kill, Kragan just mows you down. So I guess you've been denied towards middle a lot of times. It's really difficult because they've been trying different approaches so far. They've just been denied every single time when you think about it. Probably a straight up A hit is the only thing that they haven't tried yet, but might be the time to slow things down a bit, try and play it a bit of a default and work around the map at least. For now, of course, it's just going to be a how by, so you're hoping that you get a couple kills, you're hoping that you harm the CT side economy, not that at this point they really care about the money, even though it's a little bit fragile. You only care about the rounds, and they just keep racking 4 alive. Another multi-kill for Kragan, who's 13 and 5 already. It would be the perfect moment for attack. You gotta go for a timeout.
If you do, it allows you to go ahead and reset your mentality, but it doesn't seem like they will. One thing to note really quickly is just the Gaming Gladiators economy is like going to be growing so large if we keep seeing rounds like this, because like you said, 4 alive there in the previous, this is allowing players to go ahead and stack up towards 2.9 over 3k in funds on individuals, and now we're going to be looking at them to see if they find themselves another successful round. We're going to be looking towards a converted half along with Gaming Gladiators sitting in a very comfortable pocket of economy, and at that point we could be seeing buys nearly for the rest of the half, even if they do start to drop some.
That was a big risk. That peeking towards Canals was a big risk taken from Nodius, but he does get the information. Spots out the Oper. A 3-man stack, maybe anticipating another B play, anticipating a variation with a little bit more presence coming in from Khan, but for now it's going to be middle, where the majority of the T-side attention has been directed. Still, no early presence in towards B. This is good from Sampi though. You put that early pressure on middle, you drag that 3rd player back in towards that part of the map, and now you can try and hit B, as we said. A different variation, more presence coming out of Con, Kragan and Nodius all alone. Main issue is Nodius still has 1 more smoke that he hasn't used, and that nade is going to do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, no, that's a chunky HE right there. Of course, we do see the trade come through. Mangus able to find out Nauticus is labored, but one out. He's tagged down to 4 HP. And now Kraken holding over here on the sideline. Go be able to start things off. Finds out Mangus. That's that low player, 11A. Roger able to follow it up. And Psycho and Beto are there to activate. Living it down to Queenix and Nikadors. It is down into a 2v2. These players are certainly going to be playing for the retake. They want to convert the half off of this. Now,
Pinu's in a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah. He's not in a great position, but he's going to be able to go ahead and back on off. Nikadors finds out the first, leaving it down into the final 2. Of course, in this 1v2, he needs to hold this back angle. The scope could have been heard there. He should be aware. It looks like we're going to see them play for the double swing. But nope, not even needed. Nikadors just able to spot him out. It's going to close him out.
Yeah, the only chance there that the T Oper pulls off the round is if Queenix just goes for a white peak. He gets the kill, and then it's a 1v1 between the Oper, so that was good. Letting Nikodos take first point of contact. Queenix was in the position where he could swing, and for the T side Oper would have been impossible to actually reset and get out of dodge. And again, I mean, it's not a bad switch up for Sampi. It's just Gaimin Gladiators are getting the most out of every single situation. Even with Nodius potentially going for that fight where he could have tried to fend them off, it was the fact that they had Roy arriving on the rotation and that Molotov in towards B main that they didn't really necessarily want to push Sampi away, but Nodius was alright with trying to catch a bit of a timing, get ahead of the play, and get another one. But this is 7 rounds already for the Gaimin Gladiators on the CT side. I would be worried if I was on the T side of Sampi. This map is already slipping away, and we're only 10 rounds in.
I mean, you could say that this first half has been catastrophic for the T side. You really expect that we would see Sampi come out swinging. This is their map pick. They are on the preferred side of Anubis. And right now, they're just being taken to school by the side of Gaimin Gladiators. They're showing how a CT side could be so effective on Anubis. And it's looking absolutely fantastic. And now Sampi are looking to play for that B-pop once again. It's a bit of a splits. A couple from Canal, a couple from main. There's 2 players to hold things up. With Kragan going ahead and activating for the first. Taking Finu's head off. We'll see Nadios follow it up. And, I mean, this round is starting to fall apart already. Of course, Savannah does start to trade things out. Let me get down to a 3-4. Kragan gets tagged out. He's down to 26, but he's been able to find himself yet another. And of course, this Mangus finds a frag. He's swiftly dealt with, leaving it all down to Zedko, who's, well, being flanked on in Queenix. Ooh. He's a little bit off with his crosshair placement there.
There is a chance here. Zedko gets that kill, 54 HP, and he's gonna send it. Oh, steps hurt, but he decides to double down. Does Roy realize, though? You just hear that one step in towards the canals. Now it's all gone silent. Thing is, if you're Nikodos and Roy, you don't want to get caught in a weird limbo where you're just switching bomb sides. So you probably want to get Roy into a comfortable angle. And just now, Nikodos is going to start falling back. Key part here is just hold the cross. Make sure you know you've got him locked in towards the left-hand side. Don't let him cross down or back in towards B main. That's going to make the retake much easier as you're trying to approach it. You know he's either con, plat, or he's pushed tempo, and they've got kids. Only issue is, once again, they don't have a smoke or a Molotov, and if they waste enough time, Zedko might be able to come in around the world in towards CT spawn.
No, that's what he's playing for right now. They're going to go ahead and tap the bomb. It's not going to force him forward. He's just going to continue on his steady pace. Pulls out his AK. He's going to be able to spot out the back of one. Gets a bit of information on the first. Of course, he doesn't know about the second. They go ahead and clear out towards canals, but there's Zedko. Able to activate, living it all down to Roy, and it's all over. Big round for the man. Zedko, nice little 2-piece in the 1v2 clutch, able to close things out. Of course, doesn't finish off the other player, but he did the trick. And just like that, they take another round. It's a much needed one as they bring themselves within 3, trying to possibly end up the half at a 7-5 scoreline.
You can clearly tell the experience is there, by the way. The reason they were so confused and didn't even consider CT being a possibility is because the bomb isn't even planted for him, right? So in that situation, it's a massive gamble for Zedko, but it's one that you kind of understand why he's taken. If they had a smoke, if they had a Molotov, for God's sake, if they just decided to stick the bomb, obviously they don't know, but if you have a smoke, you just smoke it, you stick it instantly. This round is over. There's nothing he can do about it. I mean, they nearly got it on the second stick as well, so a big round for Zedko. Heroics needed. If you're Sampi, though, this 5th one is pretty much mandatory to pick up as well. You can't afford to let the Gaimin Gladiators get 8 on the CT side. 7 is already impressive enough, and Roy opening things up in towards middle, taking a little bit of util damage, but again, they have a majority lean in towards the bomb side that the T's have headed towards.
Well, here we go. Nikadol is able to go ahead and find out the first. Of course, we do see Queenix followed up. Mangus did get a trade in the midst of that, but
how is the
ultimately
Eli
did get
on B
refragged.
there, by the way? Look at the Eli. How did he get there? Did they switch places in the smoke?
Oh!
Did they trade
the
positions
timing.
in the smoke?
I don't know, but it's worked.
The Eli has been jailed for 30 seconds.
I mean, he's just going to be able to hold this.
That's
There's
so
no one to
confusing.
contest.
That is so confusing for the Gaming Gladiators. They're going to be kicking themselves the moment that this bomb gets planted. I mean, they will just assume that both those T's call the timing and when they're through canals, but the Eli has been here for such a long time. This is more confusing for the T's than it is for the CT side.
They're able to go ahead, find themselves a playing course. Fendo falls first, looking it all down to the Alive. The Alive needs to come alive immediately, but unfortunately for himself, Nadio's just holding an angle. He's going to be able to close him out. Putting this at a nice little 8th round for the side of Gaming Gladiators, having a stellar performance on their CT side. And dear God, Kragan, Roy looking absolutely fantastic. 17-7, 12-9.
Kragan's game in Tours B so far should be studied, by the way. He's played probably the best possible game half of Counter-Strike on the CT side of Anubis that a B anchor could. He's 17-7, and he's the B anchor. Just putting a little bit of emphasis on that, right? Because obviously there's going to be that conversation, as we said. Now that Roy's in the team, Kragan can't be the main space taker, which he was on the previous iteration of Gaming Gladiators, right? And some of the quote-unquote star roles on the CT side for riflers are going to go in Roy's favor. Some of them are going to be still, I guess, held by Kragan. I mean, the reason I like Kragan as much as a player is I don't think he requires a lot of space to operate. I actually think he does a little bit more even when you give him less space. So having a player like Roy, I guess for a lot of people going into the team would be a bit of a question. Okay, but what do you do now? Because they were really good at using Nodius, Kragan, and Queenix, especially Queenix and Kragan. But now you have another guy like Roy that requires a lot of space, that requires a lot of good positions to operate. Well, that's how you do it. You just send Kragan to Anchor B. He delivers a 17-7 half, and now you're on the T side of the most T-sided map in the pool, and you need only 5 rounds to run away with it.
Yeah, no. You really don't need much, and I mean, you've got a bit of wiggle room as well if you're Gaming Gladiator. So, Sampi, I mean, at this point, what's your plan here? How do you play your CT side to great effect? You've got to find similar to success than what Gaming Gladiators did. You can't really afford too much. But as we do move forward, looks like Gaming Gladiators are going to be looking to focus over towards that A side. Of course, it could very easily be redirected.
They're gobbling down those fuzzy drinks, huh?
Yeah.
It does happen. Is the risk of it.
Yeah.
We all love a good soda. Looks like a fake though. I mean, the Uto's been brought in. A lot of noise has been made and some rotations baited out. But look at Roy on the B bomb side. I mean, the bomb gets dropped. It doesn't make a difference. Roy is already on the bomb side. And you're never going to be ready for that. Yeah, you drop Kragan, but that bomb is just going to get recovered. Roy is still in a great position. He can just push into towards CT right now. And that player's been spotted. He's got no idea Roy's in front of him. The Eli, though, able to plant or deny the bomb from getting planted. How is Roy still alive in here? There's no way he doesn't get away with more, Roy. He's an absolute demon. There's no way. There's no way. Someone needs to stop him. They knew he was there for such a long time, but he's still mowing them down. There's no way you're retaking this one if you're Sampi, even though it's a 2 versus 2. You don't have a kid. No util. Queenix has picked up another one. And even if he does go down to Zedko, Roy can just play with the time right now. Tap on the bomb. Roy is not going to... It's not going to fall for it. Jigo comes in, sees that Zedko's not on the bomb, goes down. It doesn't make a difference. There's not enough time. Roy's just secure that pistol round. And if you're Sampi, this is just putting insult to injury. You needed that pistol.
I mean, that's a way to do it. If you're Gaming Gladiators, going to be able to go ahead and pull that off into your favor. That does put things at 9-4. They have themselves a 5-round lead to play with. And now we're going to be looking to see if they can go ahead and hit that double digits. I mean, it's been a good look so far, but now we got to see if Sampi can go ahead and look towards round 15 to try and pull things back. But as we get underway, USPSs and a hero rifle in the mix. How do you feel about Zedko going ahead and forwarding up all this?
I mean, you need something at this point. I don't mind it. You know, he needs to be the game changer, and he's already put that rifle into work. Issue is, you just need the pistols to help you out a little bit, and those steps are going to be hurt. Zedko, knife out. I mean, gun goes out as well, but Kragan Roy's gonna drop a Molotov deployed. They need to charge through, and he's gonna hear all of that. Actually, hold on a second. Savannah's dropped the bomb. I mean, it's still 3 versus 2. Finu's just on a pistol, so this is still a difficult one to pull off, regardless of the drop bomb. And yeah, Nikodos dropped another one. Peek's gonna come in. Savannah finding another one. It's good damage. I mean, it's a good asterisk that you can throw in there. Something that the T's probably wouldn't be anticipating, but in the end of the day, when you just have that one M4 and everyone else is not even on armor and pistols, which is an investment that they couldn't afford to go for, it's just on the ESPs. It's going to be really difficult for Zetko to really do something to steal the round away. And at this point, if you're the Gaming Gladiators, you don't really give a damn whether the rounds go close. You don't care if you lose 4 people. You're so close to getting away with this map.
Well, now as we do see it put down into a 10-4 scoreline, I mean, they're just 2 rounds off. That's all they need, and we'll see if they can go ahead and accomplish that. But there's a little bit of util. Starts to get deployed. It looks like they want to try and punish mid again. They showed a lot of presence here, and it had it highly contested during the first half, so going ahead and seeing them do this makes a lot of sense. It's obviously a strategy that they look to try and use quite a bit. Now, as we get underway, there's the swing. Nikodos is able to find out the first. He alive. Gets found out, of course. We do see a player get smoked off and one rotate towards the opposite end of the map.
That's so terrifying. If you're Savannah, you're screaming for help. If you're the B anchor any moment, now you're going to be screaming for help. I mean, I say the B anchor. It's just Mangus left in towards the connector, but this is a great disengagement. They've just left Roy in towards middle. If Zetko goes down to Roy, by the way, this round is so over. Mangus is still alone on an island, but it all depends on what the read is that the CTs make, and as of right now, it's not the right one. Expecting an A play. Roy is going to throw that fake even more. And if he gets that kill, I mean, now he doesn't get it. It's still information. You know Mangus is away from the bomb site. Play is going to come in. And any moment now, you will realize that was just a retake setup. And from here on out, if you're Sampi, I know you're down 4-10. But this is just screaming save. You can't afford to go for this. I mean,
yeah,
it's one thing you can't afford. A second thing, you don't have the pieces for it, right? You don't have the U2, you don't have the kit, you're working with an AVP and a 5.7. This is 11 rounds for the Gaming Gladiators.
Yeah, nope, this is looking like it's going to be about it. Of course, we do see Gaming Gladiators going ahead and putting themselves up an 11th round, and things are really progressing in a scary way at this point. Now, as they make their way forward, we'll just go ahead and make a bit of a save, able to go ahead and build up quite a bit of funding. This bomb goes off, they're just within 1. All that's needed. Well, let's see. Sampi, what do you have in store for us today? Do you have the wherewithal to play for this run back? Try to get yourselves into form here on your CT side to possibly try and play for 11-11. Or do we see this just closed out here rather succinctly with Sampi having to say, GG, go next, look at the next map to try and find themselves at there?
This could be the one. Kraken looking for that opening Q in towards B. And you gotta be careful at this point. If you're Sampi, you just need someone. You need Mangus, you need Zetko, you need Finu, you just need anybody to try and step it up, change the fate of how this map has been going, but it's not really working out, is it? Refrags are absolutely perfect. You're putting up somewhat of a fight, but it's still just 1-for-1. So look at that position from Queenix. If you're Savannah, you're just not clearing out. Not that late into the round. You're not anticipating it. You've lost another one. The E-Live, though, with the flash, might be onto something. Never mind. They might have been onto something. Unfortunately, is that monthly, well, it's actually a roundly subscription at this point for Roy and Kraken's AKs. One of them goes down, the other one is there to join. You're looking at 37 kills between Roy and Kraken.
Yeah.
And this is horrendous. And I'm gonna use that word because it is horrendous. And this is a team that, you know what? That's the reason I love casting Gaming Gladiators. Because every single time it feels like they're in bad shape. Things are not working out. I mean, this is a team that you're looking at. I'm going to read out some of the previous results. You're looking at back-to-back wins over Paravision and Aurora Youngblood. Both of them 3-mappers. Both of them really hard-fought 4 games, right? Prior to that, you're looking at 0-2 losses to Dash and Favbet in the Elise Invitational 4 main Swiss stage. a really close call win in its own fashion against Meteor. All of those teams, probably lineups that you'd be expecting the Gaming Gladiators to beat easily, right? So I think it's safe to say they are in a bit of a struggle. They're in a really tough moment right now. And then suddenly, you join the server if you're Sampi, and that struggling Gaming Gladiators is just 13-4ing you on your map pick with Kraken and Roy dropping 37 kills in 16 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, it's been absolutely brilliant by the side of Gaming Gladiators. Meanwhile, Sampi just can't seem to get things going. This team of Gaming Gladiators, they really look like a different level. Well, as we see them start to make their way up,
God.
Roy able to start things off once again, finds out Zedko immediately, but the trade comes through.
Yeah, I mean, this one kill was just a great example of how this entire map has been going for Sampi, and at this point it's not even a battle for survival, right? It's a battle for dignity. Yeah. It's not whether they're going to be able to close it out, it's when the Gaming Gladiators will close it out, right? How many rounds are you going to get if you're Sampi? Is that going to help your mental going into map number 2? Inferno is definitely not going to be a pretty enjoyable one.
If this is how things keep going. For now, though, focusing on the here and now, and the here and now is looking like a bit of an A split. 2 players coming in from the side
of middle. Through camera they go. The Elite needs at least one. He's gonna get it. Second player spotted. Bomb dropped. It's a lovely double kill, and Savannah's gonna join in for the third and final one in towards that A bomb side. So a good triple for the IGL. 5 rounds on the board. Afraid it could be, it might be, and it probably is a little bit too late for an awakening here.
It could be too little too late. We'll see if they maybe can make something happen with it. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult for them.
I can give you odds of those guys coming back into this game. It's probably 1 to 1,000.
1 to 1,000?
Yeah.
Never tell me the odds, man. Never tell me the odds. I'm going to say they can do it. We're going to see what Sampi got in store for us now as we do move forward. And this is going to be a very important round for them because, I mean, the economy of Gaming Gladiators, it's not in a great state. We see them kind of down to the bottom of the barrel. They're scraping it. And coming up in round 19, if we see them drop this one, I mean, we're going to look at Gaming looking at Sampi to possibly go ahead and net themselves at least a couple of extra rounds here now.
Sure. Well, at this point, I guess you could take that side of the coin as well, have the conversation about the mental game, and, you know, in a lot of those games, especially when it's, again, a team like Sampi that's playing so much, it's really difficult to establish consistency. Every now and then, you're going to have those maps or those series that you go into and you feel extremely cold, and, I mean, when it's combined with the Gaming Gladiators just being heads and shoulders ahead of you, it's not going to be an easy one. So getting a couple rounds here towards the end might have been good, but I say might have been because it kind of feels like this is going to be the final one of action, especially with that kill. Nikodos shuts down Zetko in towards connector. V-bomb site completely open for business, and it's just Savannah and Finu left in a 1 or 2 versus 4. Technically a 1 versus 2 if you do the maths, but yeah, that's not how Counter-Strike maths actually work. This happened at this point, but yeah, what I'm trying to say is this map is probably over.
It's looking like it could be, especially now as we do see Finu and Savannah here on the retake in a 2v4 fashion. Now Savannah hedges his way forward, coming up from CT. We do see Nikodos watching for that. Now the swing comes through. Nikodos finds out one, living it all down to the upper. Finu, you'll need to really pull out something special here. Time is limited. He's going for taps, nothing connected. The HG lands shy, and the swing comes through to close. That'll be Naughty to go ahead and close. And Gaming Gladiators, what a dominant map 1. Well, I mean, that will be that. Gaming Gladiators running through things in a absolutely stellar way. 13-5 in their direction, and now Sampi. I mean, that's going to be a hit to your mental. This was a map that you were expecting to be able to perform rather aptly on, so seeing this fall apart as quickly as it does, it just is rather abysmal for your mentality. Hopefully, coming up into the next map, even though Inferno is a map that you're not all too proficient at, you've got to go ahead and say GG, go next, and possibly look to try and play for the reverse sweep.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'm really happy that I'm back because my internet cut off there for a second. But I will be back to tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, and you, Dugate, and this is the most important thing of this post-Map 1 show. We're going to be right back after the break with Map 2.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events. At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault. And the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events. At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault. And the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Hello back, fellas. We are ready to jump into, well, almost ready to jump into map number 2 of the third series of the day. And so far, so good for the Gaming Gladiators. Looking like it's going to be a quick and nice walk in heaven for the Danes after, well, I was going to say a blockbuster game on map number 1. It was actually just a blowout. Straight as that, Kragged, Roy, all over Sampi, but it was really the entire team of the Gaming Gladiators being all over Sampi. The gate, we expected a much more close affair, much closer affair on map number 1, much closer series in general. But after that, Anubis, is there really a perspective? Is there really an angle to a potential Sampi recovery on Inferno, or does this just look like another nice and clean day in the office for the Gaming Gladiators?
It could be a nice and clean day out of the Gaming Gladiators, but I will say, definitely, Sampi, they have the tendencies to be able to fight these back. I do expect them to be able to go ahead and give us a much better map coming into Inferno. I know that this is one of their weaker maps when it comes down to it. They play it quite often, but they haven't been able to proficiently win it consistently, sitting at a 20% win rate over 20 maps played. Their most recent matchup was up against TSM that they lost in a 13-6, so losing it to another Danish side. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, it's going to be super important for them to start off on the right foot. They can't allow Gaming Gladiators to gain that initial ground. They need to go ahead, find themselves out 2-0, 3-0, possibly 4-0 as well. But I think it's going to be such a difficult task ahead of them that it's going to be a bit turbulent. But we'll have to see which way they're ultimately able to go, because Gaming Gladiators, they are looking to be absolutely on top of things.
Yeah, and as we said, we were having that conversation before the start, right? You're looking at the recent form of the Gaming Gladiators. Obviously, they haven't played too many. You're looking at just 21 maps that they've played with Nikodos and Roy, right? But when you look at the best of threes, when you look at the tournaments that they've played, you're looking at the CCT Season 2, Europe Series 6, where they got eliminated by Passion UA in the first round of playoffs. You're looking at the SE Pro League 2024, where they traveled all the way to China to just lose 0-2 to Tyloo. You're looking at the open qualifiers for Rio that they weren't able to go through. A 1-2 main Swiss record right now in the Elise Invitation after losing to Dash and Favbet. I mean, they haven't won a single 2-0 so far.
Yeah.
After joining the team for Roy and Nikodos, right? You're just looking at what, 3 best of 3s against Meteor, Aurora Youngblood, and Parivision, and in all of them they've dropped maps. This could be the first clean one for this iteration of the Gaming Gladiators, and we can't stress how important that one is.
Well, as we see them starting to advance the way forward, playing over to the B sites rather immediately off the back of the pistol. We'll see Savannah spamming through the smoke, connecting up a little bit of damage. And I mean, Gaming Gladiators, they've taken quite a bit at this point. Roy down to 71, Craig down to 45. We'll see Queenix joining him at 48. Nikodos down as well and into the grave immediately. And now Roy needs to look absolutely fantastic. And there it is. He advances forward after funding out 2, goes for the 3rd, but gets dealt with. And just like that, it's all down to the 2v3. Naughty O's Craig, and God looks to do it 1 by by Nubox, one at Banana, Kraken now alone, able to find out two, looking for the 3K, needs to find out another headshot, is trying to play tentatively, trying to force the fight. Mangus making his way around, tries to deal with him, but as they play Ring Around the Rosie, Kraken is able to find it, the 3 beast to close it, and Gaimin Gladiators by the skin of their teeth take the first pistol round.
I mean, you say by the skin of their teeth. It's such a damn shame we don't have player cams right now, because Kraken is
Screaming, laughing, smiling. He's doing all of it. You know he's enjoying himself right now. He played him like a fiddle. That was supposed to be a pistol round win for Sampi. I know the B-take works out for Gaimin Gladiators initially, but then you get all the kills. Kraken is left in a 1 versus 3 towards the back of the site. They know exactly where he is. He just isolates the fights perfectly, and it's no surprise we're going to see the force fight for Sampi, but this is such a massive hit to take early on map number 2. And it's again Roy and Kraken to get all the kills, by the way.
I mean, when it came down to it, we really needed to see Sampi go ahead and gain themselves some immediate ground. Dropping that one is going to be a hit to their mental, but still, as we see, Gaimin Gladiators stepped up, prepped up to hit this B site. Rotators starting to make their way over. That's Finu looking to join. We'll see Mangus alive, still holding down towards A by Arch side. Earned a quick rotation spot as well. But it doesn't seem like the Gaimin Gladiators are convinced just yet.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't look like it. And I mean, you're in no rush. You need you know that a force buy is highly possible to occur in a round like this one. So might as well do your due diligence. Throw in a little bit of a fake in towards the B-bomb side. I say a fake. You probably send a couple of the Mac 10s on a bit of a scouting mission. There it goes. And oh my god. What? How? What the hell is going on there? How does Nodi... Sorry?
Well,
right.
there we go. I mean...
That's the game of Counter-Strike we're watching. That's... we all saw that, did we? Every single one of us just saw what Nodius did.
It's absolutely brutal.
Did Nodius realize what Nodius did? That's the question I'm asking. Does Nodius know?
I don't know if he did. I don't know. I mean, now as we are just stuck down to the final 2, I mean, they're just going to save over. I doubt Gaimin Gladiators go hunting here, just carrying over what they can.
I'm just going to say it, by the way. Sorry, but if you're the content team of Gaimin Gladiators right now, after all the difficult times in the last couple of weeks, you're enjoying this matchup so much. There's so many clips you can share on Twitter right now. And just tag the players and be like, he knows no stops. Nodius can't be stopped flying through smokes. He's the new smoke criminal. Kraken hasn't lost a 1 versus 3 since the 1960s. Roy is a beast.
Terrorists win.
Well. Now as we get back underway, let's see it. Gaimin Gladiators starting off with the right foot. Definitely looking towards 3-0 now. Sampi that got themselves a scout, a couple of upgraded pistols to use, but that'll be about it. We should be expecting round 4 to be that full rifle round, and that's where Sampi are going to have to come alive. And if they don't, this could be done and dusted very quickly.
It's already looking like it, is it not? I mean, it's not the fact that it's a 2-0 lead. It's the fact that we saw that 13-5 on map 1. Now you get clutched in the 3 versus 1 in the pistol round. Then Nodius just runs through a smoke alone into a B stack and kills 2 people and just pry opens the bomb side alone. It's the fashion in which those rounds are just not going your way. And it's not looking like it's going to get better in this one. Of course, is just a low buy for the CT side. But at this point, you would just love for something to go your way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where you just feel like the entire world is going against you. Everything, the stars are just not aligned. And if you're at the Gaimin Gladiators, everything is aligned. Everything is working out. And you're just playing lights out Counter-Strike. That's the face of the Gaimin Gladiators that old Danish fans want to be seeing. And maybe some of the NA ones, because you reminded me that Gaimin Gladiators actually did have a North American iteration of Counter-Strike. Yeah. I mean, it's a North American organization in all in all, right? So,
yeah, no, they had
Carson, Cynic, Jazz Pimp, George, Semphis, Reality, Beowulfs, Sizzy played on that game. Classy as well for a little bit. And yeah, you're the NA guy, but I'm ready with the names. And by the way, just wanna bring it out there. Jazz Pimp is an excellent nickname.
Oh, he was great. He's retired now, I'm pretty sure.
He's benched on Nouns officially.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he retired a while ago.
Right.
Like
well,
just
I'm saying
stuff.
according to HOTV, he's benched on Nouns.
Yeah, but he was a great NA player there that was just sort of like doing ECL stuff for a while.
Sure.
Ended up retiring like.
I'd imagine you can create some damn good content with that nickname.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe he's come back. I don't know. His status has come back to active, so it was retired there for a while. At least on Wikipedia. So maybe he's like setting up to go to a new team.
I mean, you're the NA guy. You should know all of those guys. You know how it
Come
is.
on now.
Yeah, it's a small country, small scene. You gotta know everybody.
Yeah, it's absolutely tiny. Oh man. But of course, we do see it just being traded back and forth, and this is a bit more of a competitive round. Look at this, Sampi able to fight back. This is their first full rifle, and it's a very important one. Able to go ahead and see the B site taken, though. We do see Roger pretty deep onto it.
Not an impossible retake, but the plan hasn't really gone down yet, and Mangus is still thinking about the possibility of a flank and a potential double down in towards an A play. Just now, though, hear the bomb. Nade on top. Probably gets the kill onto Roy, and it will in the end. So this is probably the best chance that Sampi have had to pick up a round since that pistol round 3 versus 1 against Kragan. Bad news is, Nikoros and Queenix with that reposition are not going to be in too bad of a spot, and Queenix has actually got, yeah, the smoke didn't go deep enough. He's got an angle on top of it on the left-hand side and towards oranges, so it's all about him setting up Nikoros right now and just taking a little bit of attention away. Spam comes in, Nikoros' peek comes in. Oh, it's just a 1 versus 1 though, or a 1-4-1, so Queenix needs to clutch it up. They're not sticking it. There's not enough time. Queenix doesn't realize it, but he's won the round. No scope comes in, just playing for the style points, jumping through the smoke with the scout. And you can see that little, well, it wasn't a little shake of Mangus's mouse. It just tells you the entire story. This series, four rounds into map 2,
I thought they had
looks
it.
over.
And well, there we go. I mean, that was a fairly close round for Sampi to nearly take. Unfortunately for them, it does fall apart there right at the end. And we're now going to be looking at the Gaimin Gladiators to most likely try and get themselves towards 5 and 6 as well, while Sampi are stuck back down onto SMGs and pistols. So a bit brutal to be watching, but as we get underway, do we see 5-0 or do we see somehow a bit of a turnaround, but at 4-1?
Oh, I mean, a turnaround for the round. Yeah, entirely possible. Turnaround for the series? Probably not. Not at this point. The start has just been great. Another nade. Gonna land. Ooh, doesn't actually land flush on top of Zetko. And XM close range on the other side of the smoke. That's got a lot of potential. Depends on the fate. Do they clear him out? Do they look? Yep, they do. Just good for the 1 though. Zetko does not really get more than that, and unfortunately Savannah's just gonna get milled down by the AK as well. So another B bomb side play. What's going on in CT spawn? What the hell is? Okay, there's a deep smoke. Nikoros just jumped through with the AK. Right. Nikoros is enjoying himself, and that's bad news.
Yeah, I would say so.
You know what?
Now
Our observers today have done us the justice of actually saving us from watching, sparing us from seeing some of those plays, which I actually rate quite a lot. Because seeing Nikoros jump through a smoke, well, no, actually, I want to see that. I really want to see that.
Yeah, no, I mean, so far, it's just been a absolute stellar performance by Gaimin Gladiators. They're obviously feeling really comfortable and confident coming into this map. They're going to be up 5-0 off the back of this round. Mangus, oh, is he making an attempt for this? He doesn't have a kit, though. I thought for a second there he might be going to try and get the defuse. Fortunately, it's not going to be able to net anything. Maybe he's just trying to get a couple extra frags to try and take away a rifle or two, but just not going to be the case. I think, is this our first tactical timeout that we've seen?
No, it isn't. There was a couple in the first on the first map for the Gaimin Gladiators, at least a couple. I think one for Sampi.
I mean, for Sampi. Oh, okay, gotcha.
There's been some, and yeah. I mean, at this point, it is really difficult to collect yourselves. You know, we're reaching that part of the game where even if Sampi are able to make it relatively close on Inferno, this could be considered a good result considering the circumstances. As of right now, total score in the series is 18-5 in favor of the Gaming Gladiators. And you're on the map pick of the Gaming Gladiators. It's a map that, again, as we said, statistically, if you want to look at the sheer numbers, just the pure stats for Sampi, they've played 20 times, and they've been able to win only 5. Oh no, 4 out of them actually, not even 5. 4 out of them in the last 3 months. And the teams that they've been able to take down have been Aurora Youngblood and Verdat most recently. In general, Cybershock and Infinite as well. That was in July. So I guess it's safe to say this is the toughest team on Inferno that they're playing right now, being the Gaming Gladiators, and it's a map that usually doesn't go well for them, so quite difficult to even hope to make it relatively close, especially if Nikodos is just keeps running up and down and getting kills.
No, he's just able to go ahead and run up, find the frags, let me get all down into this 5v4s, and now Sampi down by men. They've got the rifles to use, including the up in the hands of Finno. This is just incredibly important for Sampi to try and pull off. They have to find themselves a first round. The trade needs to be coming through in imminent times. Well, as we take down below a minute, 55 seconds, Sampi, they'll have to look and make a move. And for the time being, they're rather prepped up to play for this hold over here towards A. All 5 players from Gaming Gladiators getting ready to play for the assault. The bomb is still at bottom of mid, but there's plenty of space in terms of time to rotate.
That's a really good call right now. You know they're running a stack. That's why Savannah was so aggressive. You're not seeing any further presence in towards B, any further presence in towards A. You just throw that smoke to make them think that this is going to be a split. This is a fantastic fake. They're just running, and Notice is hearing every step of it. He knows exactly what's going on, and now they're going to realize it. They're going to realize their mistake, but it might be a little bit too late. All alone, Mangus isolated, mollied in towards the pit. Nodius not read into, or his position not read into by the Live Gaming Gladiators. They're just playing a brilliant T-side on Inferno right now, and you know what this is? This is a game of survival. Quite literally, this one round is a game of survival, because Finu and Savannah are gonna have 5 people try and retake that B-bomb site and get their guns out of the hands of the remaining CCTs.
Well, now, as we do just see Savannah and Finno holding back, one by Newbox, one towards Church. The hunt is starting to come through, but we do see the activation of Finno there immediately. We see Savannah looking to play over here as well. Ooh, he spotted his position now. Well, no, they're going to go ahead and start to crunch onto him, but Savannah gets himself a beautiful little spray down. Able to leave it all down to the final 2. Queen X falls, Kragan, last man standing.
Ooh.
Oh, he gets the double. They line up for him. That's brutal.
That's heartbreaking. It really is a heartbreak and a half, right? It doesn't matter that they get all the kills prior. It's the last 2 kills that make all the difference. If you're the Gaming Gladiators, you don't really care that you lost all those players. Look at the money that they have. They have a 6-0 lead on the T side of Inferno, and Kraken just took away everything, every last drop of hope that Sampi had to reinvest. If you hold on to that AVP and that M4, Zetko's got enough money to drop over an M4. Finu's got enough money to drop over an M4. They would have had a full-on investment with it. Nope, M4s, Yuto, it would have been alright. Now, you lose those 2 guns, you're probably left with just another half buy, and yeah, it really is difficult to see a world where Sampi even give this one a good go from here on out. It's just looking devastating.
Well, now, yeah, a bit of devastation coming through for Sampi. I mean, what do they do here? They've got USPSs and MP9. Dig. Meanwhile, Gaming Gladiators fully rifled up. I mean, we're could be seeing 7-0, maybe 8-0 as well at this rate. How far do you think this 0 score goes for Gaming Gladiators? Do they get themselves all the way to like it's a 0-10 before we see an answer back, or does Sampi answer back before then?
Well, sadly, I think this might be one of those games that end before we receive a response from Sampi, and I think it's a fair assumption to make at this point. I mean, you're looking at another Inferno Masterclass, and you know, if you want to go back in time, actually, there's so much history when it comes down to this map, and some of the players on Gaming Gladiators, right? We were talking about Anubis and the fact that Nikodos and Roy might find it a comfortable map, the fact that Kragan's been a good player on it when it comes down to it. Inferno for Danish Counter-Strike has always been historically one of the most comfortable grounds, right? I mean, that's a nice find from Finu, but all in all, focusing on the big picture, Nikodos and Roy, that was the one map that they want to qualify for the major in Stockholm in 2021 that actually skyrocketed both those players' careers, right? If you remember, that was a game that they played against the Bulgarian side of Team Fiend. That's why I remember it. It was extremely painful, but of course, back on the Copenhagen Flames back then, Inferno was one of their best maps. You're looking at Krag in early stages of his career when he was on Masonic, right, a couple years ago. Always used to be a demon in towards Banana. And it's not just Krag, and it's not just Nikodos, it's not just Roy. I mean, if you want to look at Nodius as well, that partnership has been big between himself, Krag, and Queenix. But Queenix was on that Masonic team as well, alongside Kragan, right? Starting from 2021, I think, around springtime, April. So what I'm trying to say is every single one of those players has always been on the team, even when they haven't played together. And when they have played together, that has been good on Inferno. And yeah, that just comes up to a really nice amalgamation of players that they have for a map like this. Of course, there's another Danish team that's playing some proper Counter-Strike on Inferno as of right now, TSM. So starting to think that there might be a bit of a question which Danish team is actually the better on Inferno.
that is the question. It could be answered sometime.
They haven't
soon.
Played against each other yet. That would be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, that matchup could be coming through.
It could happen.
I would like to see it. It'd be a fun match.
we don't have TSM as of right now, if I'm not mistaken, in the main Swiss of the CCT Season 2 Europe Series 10. But
so
they could be one of the invited teams into the playoffs. You never know.
We don't know. That's the thing.
No, we actually don't. No, I'm not teasing you guys. Yeah, we actually have no clue. It's too early.
If we knew, we couldn't tell you, but...
But we don't know.
We actually don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So maybe we can find out that information at some point in the next couple of weeks, but it'll be a couple of weeks.
You started saying next couple. I was like, is he going to say hours or days, weeks? Yeah, all right.
Weeks, yeah, no, I mean, it's a long Swiss stage. We got a couple of weeks before
even if we find out earlier, guys, don't worry. We're not going to tell you.
Yeah, no, you guys gotta suffer.
No, I mean, you don't... It's either you don't know, or we tell you and we suffer, so we'd rather you don't know. You know?
I prefer to make chat suffer. I'll just say that, you know?
I like chat. I like Twitch chat.
Aw.
Twitch chat is an impossible to tame beast, but it's...
No kidding.
It's the known enemy. So I love Twitch chat. Especially the copy pasta. It's my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know which is my favorite copy pasta? There's that one about a certain person is so cool. He hangs out with the coolest dudes, eats at the finest places, blah, 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 blah. That's my number one right now. That's what we on.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm
you know what? We're gonna play a game with chat right now.
Faithful.
We're gonna play a game with chat right now. As this is an 8-0 lead for the Gaimin Gladiators. They won map 113-5. I think it's pretty safe to assume that things are not gonna change meteorologically. They're not gonna shift massively in the next couple rounds. So, guys, let us know. What is your favorite copy pasta?
I mean, there's a couple of good ones. I mean, I'm a fan of the old faithful of, shit, what is it? What's it called? The copy pasta where it's like, Zeko's so cool. And talking, like, I know, I'm
right.
right now, apparently.
Yeah, no, in quite a couple ways, yes.
Yeah, no, it's been a long couple of days.
Right. We're gonna let you get away with it. That's like when you start saying you go into a company and you're like, guys, I know such a funny joke. It's the most hilarious thing you ever hear. You're all gonna fall down on the ground from laughter, and then you're like, I actually forgot the joke, but it was insanely funny, and you just start laughing.
Oh gosh, I had it on the tip of my tongue, and then it just went away.
Right.
Gotta love that.
I mean, one conversation we could be having right now, because obviously we're gonna keep on praising the Gaming Gladiators, and even after the game,
Oh, yeah.
that's the best result they've had with that 5-man lineup since gathering it up. So it's going to be a big talking point. If you're Sampi,
really is.
if you're Sampi, I think the main thing you should be focusing on right now is just pretend that this day did not happen, right? You're looking at the European Pro League Season 18. They're playing the grand final there on Friday, which is tomorrow against Gun 5. And, you know, this is a tournament, an online tournament, regardless of it being a little bit smaller, that they could be able to win. There has been some lackluster results, but you're still doing all right in the contender stage of the Yellow Compass. You're still doing, or in the main Swiss, sorry, they're 1-0 there. You're still gonna be 1-1 after this game is over here in the CCT Series 10. So what I hope that we're gonna see is Sampi not get too overly discouraged, because, you know, as we said, you're sometimes just gonna be off, especially with the amount of officials that they've played so far this year. And as I already said, this is a good number that we can throw in. They are a team that has played 272 maps this calendar year. This is most than Valorant teams play in 5 years. So, in that situation, I guess you can't fault them. Every now and then you're going to be cold, and in that situation, it's just a really uncomfortable amalgamation with Gaming Gladiators being extremely hot. As hot as the sun, pretty much. So, it's just one of those days, if you're Sampi, that you want to forget about. If you're the Gaming Gladiators, you just want to soak it in, right? Just get a nice little breath in and realize what you're doing to them right now, because it's unholy. And, you know, I feel like as much as this is a great result that the Gaming Gladiators really need, if you're a Sampi, you just gotta pretend this game never happened. Because apparently something's not working out on a really deep level here for Sampi today. And, you know, you're gonna have days like those every now and then where nothing works out or seems to click. In the meantime, though, Gaming Gladiators are playing a massive best of 3 right now. I'm loving what I'm seeing. Actually, I'm not loving it as much because it's not that close of a game, but if you're the Gaming Gladiators, it kind of feels like that amalgamation of players needed that type of a result to remind themselves of the fact that their ceiling with that 5-man lineup is extremely high. And actually, sorry, I'm gonna correct myself. Their ceiling with that 5-man lineup and Castle as the coach is extremely high.
Yeah, I mean, they're looking fantastic on Gaming Gladiators right now. We gotta see how ultimately they do here in the Swiss stage, because it's still early days. They still need to win another game after this one in order to make the playoffs. But Sampi, on the other hand, I mean, they've been trying different strategies. They've been looking at different things to try and make it click and try and make it work. And I mean, so far, it's just not had any success. Maybe this round they're going to be able to find the success they need. They found already the first pick. It's been traded out, of course, leaving it down into a 4-8-4. But as we do see them edging their way around on the Gaming Gladiator side, they're pretty set up here for mid, but they've also got some presence towards B, and that's where Zedko is. He's someone to be feared. He just hasn't been able to activate in the way that he needs to over the past couple of rounds.
Yeah, I mean, nothing has been really activating. This time, though, it's a good call coming in for Sampi if you want to focus on it. The 3-man setup, Zedko's just delaying with a little bit of Yuto, and by his lonesome in towards that B-bomb site, it has been enough to fend him off in towards an A-plate. One player in towards the back of Moto, holding that cross. Long fight, quite important here. Savannah goes down, especially with the low HP of Mangas. A good spell, big issues. The play comes in. They know about Savannah's position. It's all about finding and compromising those 2 remaining CTs there. Player towards the back of the side, spotted out. Roy picks that one up, and Savannah in towards the back of the bomb side alongside the Eli, able to hold on, and finally, Sampi's defenses hold strong enough for a round on the board.
That was a very much needed round, and they did it in a good way as well. That's exactly what we needed to see. Brilliantly done by them. They go ahead and set the scoreline 9-1. They deny the 10-round run of rounds. And now this is their chance to go ahead and maybe try and make some things click. Of course, the economy of Gaming Gladiators is in an absolutely stellar place, so they're going to be looking to buy up regardless of what happens in terms of the result of rounds over the next couple. But well, hey, this is the chance for Sampi to go ahead and try to upend things and maybe look to end things out in more of a 9-3 scoreline, which isn't brilliant, but it's still a decent place to be. You can make things work at that stage. But as we do see Savannah getting us rolling, Kragan dealt with immediately. That aggressive positioning is good, but oh god,
Right.
that's not
I'm just
brilliant
getting
right there.
flashbacks when I see Kragan get a Yuto kill in towards Banana, by the way. I still remember, I think it was back in 2021, when I watched Kraken play for the first time. It was on Masonic. He played on Inferno. I don't remember which the team on the other side was, but he had something ludicrous, like over 500 utility damage at halftime. Or I think he might have gone over. I think he might have gone near 1,000 on that map in util damage. I don't know. It was a ludicrous number. It was definitely above 500. So yeah, he's quite a menace when it comes down to util playing towards that part of the map on that specific map, especially CT side-wise, by the way. Still, this round is on. A 4 versus 3. Sampi need Mangus and Finu to hold on in towards A.
Well, now as they make their way up, see them edging their way forward. Roje, Coast, all trying to put down initial utility. As we see, trying to sneak their way forward. Roy starts to play the entry. Quick play over here on the corner. He's going to be spotted.
Oh, no.
Gladiators able to take off his head. Roy able to find out one as well. Leaves it all down to the Alive and Zedko. And, ooh, did they go for this?
I mean,
suppose
at this point
really
you have to. At this point,
Yeah.
you don't really justify a save. I mean, you're down 9-1. Worst case scenario, what's gonna happen? Worst case scenario, you're gonna be down 11-1. Wow, what a shame.
Yeah.
In that situation though, it's you want to go for it, but on paper, looking at the positions is just unwinnable. Roy's angle in towards middle, probably not going to be anticipated. Actually, they think it's safe. They're running away. Oh no. Oh no. Do they have a kit? Yep. Zedko's got one. They've won the round. Roy's on the other side of the map. They just picked it up. The Gaimin Gladiators thought it was another save.
That is such a shame there for the side of Gaimin Gladiators, but it works absolutely brilliantly there for Sam. They had already sent Roy to go ahead and get himself on the hunt to find these players over there at the B side, but unfortunately was a bit of a misread, and that one player being over there cost them the rounds, and we'll see it sitting 9-2. So now, Sampi, do they end things 9-3?
Well, at this point, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, even if they do. That's the big question. You know what's the worst part about all of this? This is their second best of 3 of the day. Number 1 actually did look quite solid. It was the consolidation final in the European Pro League, the one that we pointed out they're playing grand final tomorrow in against Dynamo Eclot. Was a great performance all in all. Finu popped off, Savannah did as well, the E-Live, Zedko, everyone looked in tune, but this map, this series has been anything but successful. Queenix, there's the one. Refract comes in. Still though, Zedko is the one that is going to be under a whole lot of pressure any moment now in towards that B-bomb side. The play comes in. Needs more than one. There's the first one. Flash. Fend them off. It's good movement from Zedko to get out of dodge there. Disengage from a fight that he doesn't really need. Not going to be able to stop the bomb from going down, but still a good position for Sampi. Nice shot at getting another one. And with that kill from the E-Live, surely Nodius does not have another clutch in him.
No, I mean, Nadios, you're just kind of stuck in a really rough position here for the hold. I mean, this is going to be a bit of a difficult one, especially because these players are also high on HP. You're kind of open on a couple of angles here. I think he might have been spotted there, but he's able to play for the swing. Gets the
There's
first
no
tag down to
way.
14 HP, 1v2. There's no way, right? There can't be a way. They're going to go ahead and close in. He finds the second, but not the third. The turning Mangus is able to close them out, and that will be Sampi ending out the half in a 9-3 style.
Yep. Wipe the sweat off of your forehead, because that was damn close for Nodius. Unfortunately, did not have any util. A Molotov on top of the bomb, a flash to go in front of him. Could have been good enough. A little bit of attack as well in the first fight, but it's a damn good try. Still, Sampi able to get 3 rounds at the end. As we said, it's all about making it a little bit more respectful, right? If you get the pistol round, you get the first buy round, you just gotta keep it nice and simple. 1 foot in front of the other, 1 step at a time. And of course, for the Gaimin Gladiators, the focus right now should be just ended before Sampi have really felt like they can put up a fight here. Win the pistol, get it over with. They probably force it in the second round, especially if they get a bomb plant. So yeah, if you're the Gaimin Gladiators, you're just hoping that this one ends in a couple minutes.
Well, here we go. Into a very important pistol with Gaimin Gladiators going ahead and gaining the advantage immediately
Oh my
around
God.
the gate. Oh my God! Dude, he's just so good. Of course, the Alive trades it back, but I mean, it's the cost of his teammate's life. It leaves it down to a 2v4. And now as they try and aggress their way forward, Queenix holding a very passive position is going to get the information, swing off of it, finds the kill. Now the last player in apartments, he seems to be aware they could be here. He's watching for it. He doesn't want to overcommit into that angle. I mean, that's a good decision. Of course, Smoke goes down to go ahead and force it off, leaving it down to the Alive to make his way down towards Boiler. I mean, he's surrounded. He's got no avenues of escape currently. He's got to fight out tooth and nail. Taking these 1v1s, which could be offered up if he found a player in apartments, but not going to be the case.
Yeah, as clean as it gets. Lovely play from Nikodos, by the way. Fantastic hat trick in towards middle, which should be enough to break the backs of Sampi into the series. Worst case scenario, by the way. You lose the pistol round, you don't even get a force buy. Well, you might, but you didn't get a bomb plant, so in that situation, you probably just fully eco into this, and you go again in the next. Actually, yeah, Savannah purchased, refunded it. They are going for an eco. This is a really painful one. They're down 10-3. One map that you want only 5 rounds on, and you gotta call a full eco because you just can't justify going for a force buy. You go for a force. If you lose it, you're down 12-3. Now, at least you're gonna get a buy round at 11-3.
Now, of course, they make their way up. Initial shots have fired through rather successfully for Gaimin Gladiators. Go ahead and hit their 10th round. Of course, now we're looking for the Alive, Finno, and Co. to find themselves an upset here on the pistol. I don't really expect too terribly much, but... now as they just sneak their way around here, trying to make their way up to the back line as well. Nikodos able to go ahead and activate from the Archer's side. Player to deal with in Big Pit as well. These 3 in apartments, though, in mid. Seem to just be holding things down.
Yep, Kragan down from Banana, gonna be able to gobble up a couple eco kills himself. And any moment now, should be able to find Savannah too and dispatch of him. So 5 alive. As clean of an anti-eco as you're gonna get, and at this point, it's all about the aggressive play that they probably want to go for, considering they have held on to 2 MP9s here. So you're rocking a bit of a bonus. First buy coming in for the side of Sampi, and last chance for us to remind you guys to go and check out Hellcase. Use our code CCT. You're going to get a 10% deposit bonus and 70 cents for free. Of course, you got to stay responsible with all types of... oh, it's not... technically it is and it isn't gambling. But you just got to be responsible when you're indulging in purchasing stuff.
Yeah, to use your money wisely, you know.
Yeah. You gotta
always be wise.
You gotta be of age as well. That's quite important. Gaimin Gladiators going for a tactical timeout. This is by the way the thing that I love. This is the Gaimin Gladiators saying, hey, we understand what type of a situation we're in. We understand our position. We're up 13-5 on map 1, 11-3 on map 2. We're probably winning this. We want to make sure we keep it as clean as possible. Our team is not in a shape where we can afford to let Sampi come back into this. This would really be demoralizing. So taking this as seriously as possible. Looking like a bit of an aggressive play in towards B. Kragan's going to be lining up those fallen flashes. Well, new iteration of the fallen flashes. And the MP9s go down. Banana and it's Nodius into the meat grinder. They go. The Gaimin Gladiators going to close this one out. They want to close out their first 2-0 win with that lineup in style. And they will do so. This is complete dissimulation for Sampi.
No, this has been absolutely brutal, of course. Savannah all alone, 1v5. Needs to find himself an ace, but not going to be allowed. And we'll see things close them out. Gaimin Gladiators, they put themselves at 12. Map points secured, series points secured. And oh dear God, Sampi, where have you gone?
They're saying that as if they just disappeared now. I mean, where have they been that entire series? I don't want to sound harsh, but it's just been the Gaimin Gladiators today, and both teams know it. Sampi know it as well, as we said. It's all about just pretending this series never happened. This is one of those. At least you've got a grand final to play tomorrow morning, so might as well try and shake off the dust. Just not think about it. HE is just raining on top of Finu. This is just putting insult to injury right now. Straight up BM coming in from the Gaimin Gladiators. Over 1 month to go. Signing Nikodos and Roy. not being able to get a single 2-0 victory on HLTV over the time. 20 maps played with that 5-man lineup, and finally they're able to give everyone that performance that we wanted to see from the Gaming Gladiators. Finally being able to show us the promising signs and finally being able to pretty much play like themselves.
Yeah, no, they're starting to look seriously good with it, but without further ado, let's see it. Is this where it's ended? Or will we be seeing Sampi mount themselves a resurgence off the back of that 10? So they're going to go ahead and start to hit their way up. They're going to be able to start off on Roy, finding out the first round to the B site, living it all down to a 3-4. I don't think we're done just yet. I think there's at least a round or two that are coming through.
No smoke for CT.
Yeah, of course, with no smoke for CT, but one going over towards Banana.
Oh, no.
The shots ring through. Kragan finds out one, leads down the Alive on site, and as they are dealt with one after another, Savannah, all alone, is dealt with as well. Nadios closes it out, and the Gaimin Gladiators finish things off 2-0 to move on to the Swiss stage in a 2-0 fashion. An absolutely brutal scoreline to be sure. 13-5, 13-3. Sampi just not making an appearance today.
Yeah, pretty much as simple as that, right? You described it. Sampi just did not seem to be online in the server, did not seem to be available to play. On the other hand, what a showing from the Gaming Gladiators, man. This is the result that they needed. On the back of adding Nikodos and Roy to the lineup, there was a lot of expectations towards the team. Form was starting to drop off with the previous iteration after the pretty big high of qualifying for the main stage of the Copenhagen Major, being able to make it there, upset a couple teams. It's been a bit of a lackluster year ever since, but those are the results that you want to be getting, right? It's not about the ceiling, though. I mean, now we see the ceiling. It's all about raising the floor as well. You have players like Nikodos, you have players like Roy, Kragan, Queenix, and Nodius now with the experience of playing a major in their histories as players. Kragan has been playing some great Counter-Strike, and I feel like this is the main story for this team. If you can get Kragan and Roy to perform, if you can get the best out of Nikodos, those are the pieces that you want, right? Queenix and Nodius are going to be a little bit more of supportive elements into that team, if that makes any sense, but I feel like this is to be expected when you have Kragan and Roy. If you're getting those kinds of performances, this is how scary of a team Gaming Gladiators could be. If everything is functioning, if you give them a little bit of time, get accustomed to each other, get accustomed to, of course, the change of an IGL, the change of an Oper, massive shifts for this entire team, so there was always going to be some time needed. I guess it's normal for results not to come in straight out the bat, and you know, we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves. We're not gonna say on the back of that one best of 3 Gaming Gladiators is already looking like their best selves. No, it's too early, right? But this is a step in the right direction. You get a clean 2-0, you're in the 2-0 bracket, you can make it into the playoffs, and if you're playing that type of Counter-Strike, if this is the form that players are going to be showing, you could be aiming for a deep run into the playoffs as well, which could be now at the end of the tournament. If they do have a good tournament, I'm not even saying win the entire thing. Obviously, if they win the entire thing, we're going to start singing praises, but even making it into the semi-finals, to the grand finals, if you're playing like that, this would be the starting I guess talking point of everyone saying that the Gaming Gladiators are slowly coming back.
Yeah, no, definitely that'll be the case. And like you said, this is going to be a great proving ground. I look forward to seeing what they're going to be able to pull off coming up into their next couple of matches, because of course they are 2-0, joining the likes of Permita and Sinners, and now we're going to see who's going to be joining them at the end of the day. We have one more match there coming up in about 2 hours time, due to how fast this matchup was. It's in Cilio and Team Space. I'll be looking to face on a bit of a Russian brawl going to be occurring here in CCT, here to see who the last team to go 2-0 will be. And Ted, man, it's looking to be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah, it is looking to be a pretty good matchup. Sadly, we're gonna have probably the longest break in history before this one starts, because unfortunately, guys, we had to postpone it a little bit because I think one of the teams in our next game has some other I guess officials to play before that. So our next game is actually going to start 1 hour after it was supposed to. So it's going to start at 8:30. That's 8:30 p.m. Central European time. This is in 2 hours and 21 minutes specifically. So we're going to have a really long break. I'm not even sure if we can call that a break. We're going to have pretty much one long nap time off. So you can go have a walk, you can go to the gym. For goodness sake, you can play a couple of faces probably, and we're gonna see you right here, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Myself and Dugay, they're gonna be back as well for the final game of the day here at the CCT. See you then.
You look into your inventory and there's only It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom, instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.